dubstep dancing on the roof. It's like they're calling out, don't lose your youth, 'cause I can stay
Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today I wanted to share with you some of the things I do in my day to adjust to my new life abroad, stay productive, and not get sidetracked. There are so many fun things to do outside or see, but we can't do them all at once, of course. Today will be a calm day. We're not going out anywhere, making today as productive and fulfilling as possible. Now, with all that being said, this morning, even though I got a late start waking up at 6:30 rather than 5:30, I was still able to make it a good one. First, I had to get some coffee in me and also some cereal. I know I broke my fast a few hours early, but I had to. It is more important to listen and be in tune with what your body needs instead of being too stubborn. That would only do you more harm than good. I had the shakes and I felt like I could not last at the gym if I did not have anything to eat. I only had a small amount, just enough to have plenty of energy till the next meal. After eating, I wanted to get to reading my book. I have been loving this routine because I find I start my day with more intention. I usually read self-improvement books. The reason being is because it helps introduce new ideas, allowing you to see something from a different perspective. When reading first thing in the morning, it feels as though I am ready to conquer my day. I feel like this is a great thing for self-care. Some of the books I love are Ikigai, the Japanese Guide to a Long, Happy Life. It's definitely a good book to read. The next book is The Ikigai Journey. This book really tells you how to find your purpose in life. I've mentioned this book before and I'm mentioning it again because it is that good. Give this a read if you're looking to find or figure out what you want to do with your life. This last book, I've also mentioned it a long time ago, and I'm still gonna mention it again. The book is called You Are a Badass. In this book, it really helps you see things from a new perspective, allowing you to kind of think farther outside the scope and really assessing that you're not the only one who has this kind of problem. But then it also tells you how to kind of not wallow in your self-pity. It was definitely a slap in the face reading this book. Once I've spent about 1 hour reading, it's time to get ready for the gym. Take note of how I look beforehand because my shirt will most likely be a completely different color by the end of the workout. I won't show you too much of my workout because I'm saving that for another video, and it's going to be a week of workouts. Keep an eye out for that one if you don't want to miss it. But I will show you more of my stretches. I was not flexible whatsoever. I could not touch my toes or go into a deep lunge. This was always a struggle for me since I was a child. I remember when I went in to go get my physical done at the doctor's office and they were doing that test, just making sure that your spine is straight. So the doctor told me, all right, touch your toes. I went and bent down to try and touch my toes, but I could not reach for the life of me, and I only touched the mids of my shins. And I remember the doctor telling me, wow, your sister is more flexible than you. And that was one of the moments where I just kind of accepted that I will never be flexible and I'll never be able to touch my toes. Recently, I was adamant about improving my flexibility because I did a deep dive into how it can improve your health, especially how flexibility goes hand in hand with mobility. I want to instill great health habits and work on my fitness now so I can have an easier time with it in the future. Now, my consistency has paid off. I've been very consistent in doing my stretches right after my workout, and the sheer amount of excitement that I felt when I brushed my toes with my hands. This is the time where I was so excited that after we got home, I showed David, I was like, yo, look at this, I can touch my toes. This is something that I never imagined that I would be able to do. But here we are. Consistency is key. Okay, enough about my rant of flexibility and stretching. Now that we're home from the workout, you can see that my shirt has absorbed most of my sweat. Since we worked out really hard, David's mom prepared some noodles with extra protein for us. Thank you, Mom. When we finished eating, we started to clean the house. One thing I had to get used to was washing dishes or towels or other items of clothing at the back, as you see. We don't always wash dishes like this, only when there's a lot of them or very large items. Today we used the air fryer and that was a bigger item, so we had to wash it at the back rather than in the regular sink. The reason we also have to wash our towels right after the gym is because if we let them air dry, they really stink afterwards. So we just like to quickly wash them and let them kind of soak in the detergent before finishing up and hanging them to dry. After that, it was time to clean the bathroom. I absolutely love this bathroom because it is just one large wet room. You can walk from the sink to the shower without having to step over a bathtub or anything else. I really do love this. And I love the fact that you can just sit there and wash your face in the sink, let all of the water drip down onto the floor, and not have to care about it. Compared to when I'm at my mother's house in the US, when you drip water on the floor, you have to run and go get a towel, wipe it up, otherwise it's gonna warp the floorboards. Even though I love this bathroom, cleaning it can sometimes be a pain, but I think I have it figured out now. Next thing I have to do is use this scrubby brush. Now, the reason we have a long-handled scrub brush is because some family members are very short and can't reach up high. But I feel like this one's a pain to use sometimes because I feel like I don't have enough leverage and I'm not scrubbing enough. And then of course, just sweeping everything towards the drain, really scrubbing the floor because we do end up tracking quite a bit of dirt into this bathroom. Finally, I could take a nice shower after working out and cleaning. By now, it was almost 11 a.m. Not too bad. I had the feeling that I was able to accomplish many things this morning. After showering, I still had some things left to do for the house, like hanging the clothes. When we first moved to Vietnam, I initially felt this was pretty bothersome, especially since we had a washer-dryer combo. I don't mind it so much now. The only time I get frustrated is when it takes a few days for our clothes to dry. The worst time was when it took 3 days for our clothes to dry. The weather was terrible, raining, cloudy, barely any sun, and there was condensation on the walls every morning. This is why it took forever for our clothes to dry. This is just another one of the things that I had to adjust to. Immediately after the house chores were finished, it was time for lunch. Mom was so sweet in making sure that we had a well-rounded lunch. I absolutely love and adore eating Vietnamese food. I find that I don't hate anything at all. Honestly, it surprised me as I am a picky eater when it comes to American food. Like, I despise burgers that aren't plain, pickles, and just a lot of things in general. If I listed everything out that I disliked, the paper would probably be a mile long. Not even joking. Now, getting back to the lunch, I thought that the soup in the beginning was odd because all it had in it was some ground pork, pineapple, and starfruit. Of course, some other seasonings were in there too. I was really surprised to see a soup that was pretty much made purely out of fruit, but oh my gosh, was it good. Oh, and the other thing, I'm addicted to these pickled eggplants. After lunch, it was time for work. I like to work in chunks, working hard for 1 hour and then taking a break for about 15 minutes. I find this works pretty well in building self-discipline. Even though I'm not perfect at staying 100% concentrated, I'm working my way there. This is a great way to ensure that you're more productive throughout the day because you are trying your best during that 1 hour, giving that one task 100% of your concentration rather than trying to get distracted, or if you do find yourself distracted, then you have to bring yourself back and continue concentrating on what you were doing. We worked from 1 to 7 and I was able to get so much done during this time, finding that I was working really hard, giving these tasks 100% of my concentration and effort. After work, it was time for dinner. It was just leftovers. But for dessert, we had my favorite. Okay, maybe not my favorite because I have too many favorites, just depends on the day. Anyhow, we had dragon fruit for dessert. With all the fruits that we have available here, I find that I crave candy or pastries less. In fact, I actively ask for whatever fruit I can get my hands on. Sugar apples, ladyfinger bananas, wet jackfruit, dragon fruit, and durian, to name a few. These are some of the fruits that I'm definitely going to miss when we move. After dinner, I try to squeeze in a bit more work before my class starts. I teach for about 1 hour and the class finishes around 10 p.m. So we go straight to bed after my class. And that is it for a productive day in my life abroad. Jumping into a schedule like this has helped a lot in the adjustment period, making me feel that I have some sense of routine. It is essential to find a good routine for yourself if you're looking to live abroad long term, so that you have at least some sense of stability and normalness as you're adjusting. So implement some things that you used to do daily when you're home, like reading, working out, and so on. This is the best way to make your adjustment as easy and simple as possible. And of course, you can throw some other things into your routine, some things that are new, because you do need that variety. But just set a regular routine. Okay, that is it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the next video. That is it for today. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.